Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? Another recap. I bet you're excited for this Wednesday. Nice little lower on the price action again. How much lower can we go? I don't know. We've been talking about it. I'm not gonna spend much more time on it because I kind of already know. We're kind of seeking in these levels that we've been talking about, definitely watching it. It kind of is nice if you look at it this way, is if the wick gets long on the weekly. Now, if we start to grind back up, really, we start getting it back above that 80,000, 82,000 level. If we can get it close back up in there, that kind of eats that candle on the last week. And then we also have a nice wick here. So if we have that nice wick down that we just did, and then we kind of print and close at that 80 to 82,000, looks pretty nice. So anyway, we won't get into that too much. Let's go ahead and take a look at price action, and then take a look at the system that we look at. So let's jump into the charts right now. And you can see right here is the areas that we talk about and things that are going on in the chart here. So you do have your daily support right down here. You had your daily breakout area right here, and then you had above here was your breakout or breakdown area or breakout area up here, and then you had your daily resistance way up here. Now these were pretty tight, so a lot of times when you see this kind of action, that's not very good if it's going to break up, but we definitely had price action wanting to push down right into the morning, right? We just started to sell off, and you can see it just starting to break down, started to trade. So one thing that every morning we actually run within Kabroda's levels, within Kabroda.com. We actually we look at the last 12 months, which if you look back through a lot of our videos, we do show a lot of this, that we showed you how we did the fixed range volume profile. We talked about how to put on the last 4 hours of the market before it opens, the last 4 hours right through here. We talked about the last 24 hours and how to put that on there. And then we also looked at the weekly, and then we built all the high time frames and all this fancy stuff, which we showed you. But now we don't worry about that anymore because we just basically built it into code, which actually goes and fetches through the API and gets the information from the exchanges and then builds it for us. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. So you just copy it, use our indicators that are on our site as well, and you can just paste it on here, and it gives you all these levels that I keep pointing out, which is nice because now you're just kind of waiting for it to interact. One thing that we've done now is we ran back history on our levels that we use within Kabroda. And we realized, like, hey, a lot of times when the levels have different distances or different, the spacing set up the way it is, things that we always talk about all the time. That is where we built that into our system. Now, one thing I'll do is I'll show you that. So this is our market radar that we run internally. Right now, this is not available to the site for everyone, but to kind of show you like what we're doing. So every day it actually scores the charts here in the morning on the session. We run the New York session futures. It opens up at 8:30 Central Standard Time. And from there, we can go ahead and take a look at what the score is. Like, it doesn't really matter to us, really. So you can see that it kind of ranks it on a longer, this is the weekly kind of bias that's going on. We're looking for a score. Now, if it gives you a trade, you can click on here. This also right here lets you just copy the data that gives it in the indicator. Like you just say, copy for indicator data. Now I'm going to click on the lock target option, and you can see that it comes over here. And from here, if you put your account balance in there, how much do you want to risk? It's 10%. It's saying, okay, well, your max loss if you had this would be $400. This is the trade that it's looking at. It's saying this is standard operation. So it's saying it's a clear runway detected. So the daily wall, it gives the level 76,971 or 72,944 is the magnet right now. So take profit strictly at the wall is what it's referring to, which is your daily support is what it's looking out for. Now you don't have to worry about that too much because it gets it all over here for your targets, the entry up here, and then your stop loss. And again, you can copy that data and put it in our indicators. And you can also copy the trade key What that does is if you take it again over to our indicators, you can just paste it on here. You can see this is the actual trade that we were just talking about. So you had your stop up here, this was your entry, and this was your target. Now we were saying, watch out, this is target 1, but it could come all the way down to the daily resistance, which was down right through here, and that would be target 2. Obviously, after it started to trade back up into this area, came back up, and then it ripped down and just touched target 3, hit target 3. So you might say, well, okay, that's great. What does that mean? Let's go ahead, and these actually move. So as price action prints out, like you see now, these lines are over here. So in the morning, they would have been right through here to kind of give you an idea. But I'm just going to go ahead and mark this out, and all I'm doing is matching it up with these levels here. So there's your stop up there. There's where I put my stop. My entry is right here. And this is, you can see if I went to target 1, it was almost a 1-to-1. If I went to target 2, right down here, that's a 1.62. And then if I went on down to that third target, it's basically 2.58. So that is your reward to what you were risking, is what that was. So again, to make it make sense, I guess you could say, well, whatever I risk is what I can make times whatever the rate of return is on it. So if we go back up to target 1, for easy math, $100, that would be $98 is what you have made on the 100. If you went down to target 2, it's 1.6, so basically $160 on the $100 investment. Or if you put $100 on, again, risked it. So if it came up, you would have lost $100. You would have made $258 at target 3 down here. So that's kind of what it's telling you. That's kind of the breakdown here through this trade. And we wait for these candles to print. That's what these levels are here for. So you might, if you want better confirmation, you could say, well, I want at least the candle closed on the 5-minute, which that's what we're on right now. So we got the breakdown, and we wanted to close off with this 15-minute. That's all it is marking this 15-minute candle. If I go to the 15-minute, you can see here's the very low of this 15-minute candle, and there's the very high. That's all it's marking. And this is the 15-minute candle. So you have the market open, and we don't do anything. We want the first 30 minutes. So in this case, we mark it at 7:30. It's actually 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for the New York session. So that opens up, it prints, and we don't touch the market till 8 o'clock our time. So that would be 8 o'clock would be 9 o'clock Central Eastern Standard Time. Then for us, we just kind of watch price action for a little bit, and then we wait for this candle to print. And this candle where we're watching is, again, for Eastern Standard Time. That's 9:30 to 9:45. That's the candle we're waiting to print. In our case, since we're Central Standard Time, that's just 8:30 to 8:45. So you can do the math for the Eastern Standard Time to stay on track with it. I know a lot of people talk about this. A lot of people just don't tell you what it is. That's why I'm giving you that extra information if you wanted it. But anyway, that's just, I guess, to help you lay out your charts if you want. That's why this is here. We found that this helps us get in. Now, the one thing is you could, once this breaks down, you can see that this was breaking down. You had a lot of volume in this area. That was kind of your confirmation move. So at that point, you could just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go put this trade on in my exchange, and I'm just going to put it on with a limit order. So I'm going to put my stop up here, put my limit order here, and when it wicks back up, it's going to fill me. If you wanted a little bit safer, it may have just wicked back and tested. Typically what you'll see is it'll do the breakdown like this, and it'll test back off that 15-minute high or low. In this case, we're breaking down, so we're going to go off that low. And you could have missed out if you tried to get up here tight. Now, the other thing is the trade that we're talking about right here actually was given right after this 30-minute candle printed and gave us our 30-minute high or low. So on this candle right here, this trade had already printed out. So if you wanted to be really aggressive, you could just be like, I'm just going to go put this trade on. When it gets, it's just going to fill me, and I'm going to get filled right here. Well, you can see you would have been stressing for a little bit, right? Because it came all the way back up, and there wasn't much room left for you to get your stop filled, and then it just traded on down. That's why I would say wait at least till you get your 15-minute candle. then you could put this on if you wanted to be a little bit aggressive. So there is days when we're looking at this, it'll tell you you can't trade. Like yesterday, it was a number 10. That's what it ranked us at. So you had a 10 here. It won't give a trade at that point. We know that based on the line structures and the way things are, it wouldn't have gave you a trade. So yesterday there was no trade. Well, yeah, but this is the price action right here. It was no trade, and look what it just ripped down. Yeah, but the probability was very low. That's why we wouldn't have traded that. But today, you know, the probability was a lot higher for this to play out. So that's kind of that's why and the probability is based off of, again, it seems simple, but that's really support and resistance lines, the bigger, higher time frame support and resistance lines. These triggers are giving you the move, entries, exits, that kind of thing. You're giving you your stops. We run our stop right up on the 30-minute high if you're breaking down, or the 30-minute low if you're breaking up. And if you want to run these extensions, we actually use our triggers constantly for that too. Our spread of our triggers give you the distance, and that's why you can see, like, here's your target 1, here's target 2. We use a different math that was marked out here, and that's what you see. So I know I explained a lot for you on more of our system, but you can see that that's just basically how we constantly trade. So when I'm doing recaps with you and showing you price action, and when I say it wasn't a trading day, that's what I'm going off of as our system. So when we trade, we trade. The nice thing is once you learn how to really look at price action, like we go back through, and then you kind of have a system that's not red light, green light by any means, but it gives you the core levels and the core information that you need to be putting on the charts. Well, then you can turn around and make these sound decisions like we're looking at right here, and take advantage of this. And I mean, yes, this is classic. This was the magnet, is what it was talking about. This is what it wanted to go down to, was this area right here. And you can see that it came through and just ate it right up. So if somebody was really putting this trade on, this would be the ideal place to put it. But you know, you could have easily said, hey, I want to get paid here. Let's just put it right here on the line. Snap, you got paid pretty easily, a nice play down, and then it wicked. Obviously, when it came back up, our hard rule is if it breaks through the 5-minute and you're still sitting there waiting, well, get out of the trade is what that basically is telling you. So that is about it. You would have got out right here, further over, and you still made a 1-to-1 basically. It still was a good trade. You can see it actually how it interacted and broke back up through on target 1. You could have also just said, hey, I'm going to go down here, and when this starts to break down through here on target 2, you could have also started to move your stop down and say, I'm going to secure target 1. No matter what, if it comes back up, it's going to get me out. It's just kind of the same idea. It just depends on how you want to trade. So that's about it for the recap, showing a little bit of the secret sauce that we have here. And we are looking at these lower lows, but you can see that, again, like I've talked about real quick, let's zoom out. Look at the bigger picture here. You know, you've been seeing, I'm on the 15 minutes, so it's not as pretty, but you can see it's breaking down. This is another strategy actually we trade that you see here. So if you sat in this trade, it's a 14-to-1. You can do the math on that, right? But it did break down, and it had hard fall. It started to trade back up, but it had another hard snap. You can see how it's getting less aggressive and snap, and then it tried to grind back up through here, and then we got this break. And then it grinded back up again, and we got the break. So to me, it's like a ball, right? It starts to bounce, and it gets bounce, and then it kind of almost just starts to flatten out. Well, there is also, it's going to pull back. Like, it's just a natural, it'll start to go back up. So as it goes back up, that's why I said we need to watch out to make sure it clears key levels, which we kind of needed to get back above that 82,000. So we'll kind of see how things start to print up as go forward. But you can see the energy in the downwards pressure is starting to die. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but it is gonna have to take a breather for a little bit and see if we can get rotated back up here. It's definitely fighting back in this area right now. This could grind back up and start to break out. We'll have to see. That's kind of on that 15-minute. The 5-minute right now is playing with its 21, which we kind of pointed out you need to watch out for. So this could grind up here again, just like we saw yesterday in price action as it broke down and then it grinded back up. and then we saw the breakdown again. We'll kind of have to see, you know, always trade when there's liquidity in the market and when the session's going. That's why we talk about the sessions. So I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with the recap, and we'll see you guys in the next recap. See ya.